Now ask yourself this question. Would you buy a used car from CeeLo Green?
And I might actually have a chance with Hugh Hefner. He's back on the market.
But don't count on it. I'm Chet Coppock, along with
Catherine Saxon.
And welcome once again to Culture Clash, brought to you by the great people at Flood Brothers Disposal Service. Woo! Remember, Flood Brothers, that is the name of the game. All right, right off the top, CeeLo Green.
Yes.
CeeLo Green, who will forever be remembered along with Frank Sinatra, Elvis Presley, Paul McCartney,
he's number one in my
Mick
book.
Jagger, because way back on August 19th of 2010, back in the dark ages, he released a song entitled F-KU, which your generation surged right up to #1.
You know what? My mom loves that song. It's her favorite.
Sounds like
She called me a little intoxicated one time. She's like, oh, you know what, Catherine? We'll Blake you and Blake her too. I'm like, excuse me? So she finds that song to be hip and happening.
Well, sing a few bars.
I can't. It's a little inappropriate for the show. But, all right, so the reason why he's in the media right now is he is under scrutiny for something he posted on Twitter. Did you read this?
Yeah, I did. And you know what? As far as I'm concerned, you know, he got pummeled a little bit by a critic for his performance at the Target Center up in Minneapolis.
Him and Rihanna, right?
He was with Rihanna. So what does he do?
Rihanna.
He tweets knowing full well that the younger generation is going to say, way to go, CeeLo. They're going to run out and buy product. This is nothing more than a public relations gesture. He could care less what the critic had to say about him or his performance.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the quote was, I respect your criticism, but be fair. People enjoyed last night. I'm guessing you're gay and my masculinity offended you. So is this just another, case of pure stupidity where he used gay for, meaning another term?
I thought our show had cornered the market on pure stupidity, but we'll give CeeLo, I'm going to give CeeLo a mulligan on this one. Even though I don't like the use of the phraseology, I'm going to give him a mulligan. You know what?
I don't know what that means.
Hugh Hefner. You don't know what a mulligan is?
I don't know what a mulligan is.
Haven't you ever played golf?
No. I mean, mini golf I'm great at. Okay.
Me too, except for the windmill hole.
All right, so I need to talk to you about something. A recent New York Times article looked at why female politicians are rarely caught up in sex scandals. So I wanted to get your perspective on this because I'm sure it'll be weird. Why do you think that female politicians versus male politicians aren't really in the spotlight and getting caught up in these sex scandals?
I got news for you. Blondie, my good friend, my youthful cohort.
What is it, Ready?
The chicks are out there. They're getting their kicks. You got the wieners. You got the Spitzers. You know what? They're just more discreet and they don't get caught. Anyone who thinks
so you think that they're doing this all under the table?
Absolutely. Anybody who thinks that female politicians aren't running on the old man, they're in Washington D.C. for heaven's sakes. You know, it's the hub of conservative excitement and liberal excitement.
Okay.
I don't know what the hell conservative excitement had to do with that.
All right. Well, the article says that men tend to run for office because they see this as a career path, and women run because there's a public issue. So they, since there's less women obviously in public office, they see this as more of a serious opportunity that they don't want to mess up. And generally women are more punished a little bit more harshly than men when caught up in sex scandals. It's like, oh, a man did it, of course he did. A woman did it, how shame on you. So.
No, I don't buy that at all. I mean,
okay.
For example, if you got a tweet from John McCain, the youthful Republican senator,
we tweet all the time,
from Arizona, wouldn't you be enticed?
Sure, not sexually, but I'd be enticed to see why he was tweeting me. Sure. What's your point?
Your point is that my point is, you know what? This show again, it's not doing a lot for the English language. My point
or
is
yours
that you're showing age discrimination.
Why?
Because you don't want to get on with John McCain.
Okay. Anyway.
Let's move along.
Okay, let's move forward. We have to bring up something that's a little bit tragic. Ryan Dunn from A Star. This is probably after your time, but he's a star from the movie Jackass, and he's been in a few of those movies. He died early Monday morning after driving off of a Pennsylvania highway.
I've always said that Jackass was the Casablanca of the 21st century. I feel sorry for the poor guy.
It's equivalent.
But correct me if I'm wrong, didn't he post a tweet where he was holding up a
beer, yeah.
or a scotch on the rocks, and
well,
and
I mean,
admitted
people.
he was loaded.
Well, yeah, people his close friends said that he had more than 6 drinks before he got into the car. So, shocker, a star from Jackass was drinking and driving. Hate to stereotype,
Why
but you know.
didn't somebody stop him? Why didn't somebody take the keys?
Well, there's
And by
actually.
the way, Roger Ebert, the best film critic in America,
Yeah, absolutely.
is just creaming the guy.
So are his fans, actually. I mean, he's having a huge backlash against drinking and driving. So, on that note, I have to agree. At this point in your life, it's just not worth it. Get into a cab. You know, but
People don't think that way.
They don't. So the autopsy is going underway right now to find out whether or not he was intoxicated. My vote is yes. I'm guessing yours is as well.
Carry on, my dear.
Okay. There is a star from the Green Mile. His name is Doug Dutchison. He's 51 years old, and he was the slime ball in the Green Mile. He's had a reoccurring role on Lost. He just got married to an aspiring country singer and former beauty pageant, which, if you've seen pictures of this chick, she is really hot. Her name is Courtney Alexis Stodum, or something like that, who's 16 years old. 51, 16. So they got married in Las Vegas, which apparently, since minors can marry in Vegas as long as you get parental consent, and they posted on Twitter saying, "We're aware that our vast age difference..."
This guy is obviously the illegitimate child of Jerry Lee Lewis. That's my first reaction. He's 51 years old, and he's marrying a 16-year-old babe?
I mean,
what are they going to do, go to the junior prom together?
I know. He's having
And then
a
a gentleman's
crisis. Midlife crisis for sure. Well, I mean, all right, so let me finish this quote. We're aware that our vast age difference is extremely controversial, but we're very much in love and want to get the message out there that true love can be ageless. So do you think...
Please, gag me.
You know
with
what?
a
I've seen
spoon.
you with some younger chicks. I wouldn't go that far, calling you creepy like this guy. Well, just not in this sense, at least. But do you think that true love can be ageless?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
No, because my target demo
Yeah, who is your
24 to 42.
Oh, shit. Shoot, I just made the mark. Damn it. All right, well, that wasn't our creep fest.
I'm appalled. Culture Clash wishes to apologize to those who may have been offended by that horrible remark.
Okay, well, speaking of big age differences, Crystal Harris is back on the market, so is Hugh Hefner, since she called up the wedding 5 days before they were supposed to walk down the altar. Not shocking at all, I have to admit.
I have a feeling that somewhere along the way, she got ticked off about a prenuptial agreement. That's my first reaction. My second reaction is maybe she came to the
5
realization
days before the wedding?
that there's something about this that just seems a little bit stupid, a little bit illogical. I know Hef gave her a Bentley and gave her a rock worth 90 grand, which by Hugh Hefner standards, actually, I find to be kind of
modest,
kind of cheap.
I still think that's nice, but I think that I don't understand this, how people can get to that close to the wedding and then call it off. Why not a few months in advance? That would still be crunch time to me. I mean, have you ever, I know you've walked down the altar a couple times. Have you ever had a situation like that occur where you're starting to get cold feet and you actually follow through on the cold feet? Or, where you're just like, I'm committed to getting married, I'm going to do it? Well,
truth be known, I once called one off very close to the ceremony.
Okay.
And
big relief?
Well, not on my side, but I felt like my partner...
That's what I meant for her.
I felt like my partner was so thrilled that she might spend the entire summer in the south of France. I mean, her reaction wasn't one of tears. Her reaction was, hey, hey!
All right, so did you let her, in comparison to this 90,000 ring that he let Crystal keep, did you let her keep the 90-cent ring?
Yeah, and it came out of the best damn bubble gum machine I ever went to.
Those are nice nowadays. Okay, she said that she realized Hefner's lifestyle, which she described as with multiple girls around all the time, the Playboy lifestyle just wasn't for her. 5 days before the wedding, I'm glad you figured that out.
She's been a playmate. She's posed in the Raw. She's been living around the mansion for how long? And now all of a sudden, she decides 5 days in front of the big event, I would have liked to have known who would have been at that wedding.
I do too.
Who would have been on the guest list?
Well, he's over it. He posted on Twitter, "It's the start of a new day and a new week, and I'm happy to be single." So, I mean, good for him that he's able to just bounce back from this heartbreak so quickly.
Hey, good for him that he redefined American sexuality with the Playboy philosophy. Hugh Hefner, Hugh Hefner is the greatest dynamic, even more than Woodstock and the Summer of Love. Hugh Hefner did more to change the approach of the American public to sexuality than any man on the face of the earth.
Okay, said it right here. Moving forward, actress Debbie Reynolds, somebody that maybe you two could...
We dated.
I figured.
It's around 1940.
She held an auction for nearly 3,500 movie customers where she collected over the years memorabilia of, Marilyn Monroe. So one of the first dresses that Marilyn Monroe wore in the movie 7 Year Itch it went for $5.6 million. Can you believe that?
What I find interesting about that is that's the dress that Joe DiMaggio, who was married to Marilyn for about an hour and a half, the legendary baseball player, couldn't stand because Joe knew she was not wearing any underwear when the PR photos were taken for 7 Year Itch, where she was standing above a subway, where you get the breeze coming up.
That dress went for less money, so I find that to be surprising. That to me would be the biggest cost.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Then what the hell am I talking about?
I have no idea. But so what's she going to do with all this money that she's selling? Is this just for her own gain, or is this going to charity? I'm hoping this is going to charity, or some of it. Well,
one would think so. I mean, given the fact that Debbie Reynolds has got to be somewhere between 100 and 108.
Yes. You do have a lot in common, the two of you. Okay,
Shut up.
Sorry. Moving forward, this is also something that I thought maybe happened to you recently. There's a dating website called beautifulpeople.com, and it caters specifically to individuals deemed attractive. At this point, you're wondering, what does this have to do with me? But they cut about 30,000 members. They cut about 30,000 members because it claims that they were only granted access to the service due to a rather peculiar virus. So they cut these people off and said that it was because they didn't meet their standard of beauty. Sent them an email saying, "I'm sorry, we're going to have to, send you your money back. You're cut from the website." I mean, is this going to cause some sort of case of depression? I'm thinking yes.
No, because anybody who's logical, anybody who really has positive self-esteem, realizes this whole thing was a con to begin with.
Well, I mean,
and I'm ashamed of the fact that I got involved.
I mean, who would be on a website like this? I think it's a little, little low quality to be on a beautifulpeople.com website. I'd rather go for something, I don't know if I'm really into the dating websites,
like what,
actually.
MrSkin.com?
Well, I don't know. I haven't got into the dating websites yet, but, something that's a little bit more universal and not so condescending. And
you haven't gone on to Match.com or something like that?
Not yet. I haven't gotten to that point, but... there's always a sense of a pride factor, like, oh, I don't need a dating website. How many are you on currently?
Never have been on one.
Really?
No.
Okay.
I've always figured, if anybody saw me on a dating website, their psychiatrist would probably start double billing them.
Okay. Well, this is pretty much all I have to say to you today.
You're sure?
Yes, positive.
I mean, you're positive.
I'm so stressed and I need a nap.
Well, once again, you've been enjoying Culture Clash, brought to you by the marvelous people at Flood Brothers. And after this performance, we can only hope that Flood Brothers has a big heart and a sizable degree of forgiveness. I'm Chet Kopic, along with
Catherine Saxon.
This has been Culture Clash, produced by Mike North. We'll catch you next time around. So long, everybody.